Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to solve Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics Paper 3 Core, which is calculated paper, Specimen Paper B for examination from 2025. So for paper 3, Cambridge has provided the following list of formulas. So no need to memorize the volumes and the areas formulas. Let's start with the question 1. Question number 1, part A, write the number 20 million in figures. Since we know that 1 million has 6 zeros, so 20 million has 20 and then 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Part B, write the number correct to the nearest thousand. Nearest thousand. Ones, tens, hundred, thousand. So this is a digit at the thousand place. All right. So the 4 and the 7, it stays the same. So it is 0. The next digit is 6. 6 is more than 5. So we have to round up. We add in 1 in 0. So it becomes 1 and replacing the rest of the 3 digits with zeros. So this is 471,000. Question number 2, write one of the samples less or greater or equal in each statement to make it correct. Since calculator is allowed in this paper. Okay, so let's see what is 2 by 7. 2 by 7 is this and 28%. 2 by 7 is 0.2857142857 and 28% is 0.28. 0.2857, it means 0.286. This is greater than 0.280, so this is greater. Now 7% and 7% is 0.07. Yes, this is 0.07 is equals to 0.07. 1 out of 80, this is 0.0125 and this is 0.01. This term is greater than 0.01. All right, question number 3, part A, measure the angle marked X. We have to measure this. Okay, so use a protector for this and let me measure that angle. So first we have to measure the angle that is in between, right? So as you can see, this angle, this in the angle between these two lines is equals to 50 degree. So this angle is 50 degree. So what is the outer angle? So we know that the whole sum is 360. So from 360 we subtract 50. This is 310. This is the angle X. 310 degrees. Now for part B, write down the mathematical name of this type of angle. So this is a reflex angle. As we know, when we have the outer angle is the reflex angle. Its mathematical name is reflex angle. Question number 4, Peter's wages are 1,350. Okay, part A, Peter spent 8% of his wages on travel. Find the amount he spent on travel. So the amount he spent on travel is 8% of his wages. So 8% of 1,350, this is 100, 108. So he spent $108 on travel. Part B, Peter spent 891 on rent. Find the percentage of his wage he spent on rent. Okay, so 891 he spent on rent out of the total. The total is 1350 and multiply it by 100. Okay, 891 over 1350 times 100, 66% he spent on the rent of his wages. Part C, find the amount of money Peter has left now. Okay, so the total amount he spends is 1350. Now in 1350, he spends on travel, subtract the travel, and subtract he spends on the rent. How much is left? So from the total, the amount he spends on travel is 108, on rent is 891. So simplify, 1350 minus 108 minus 1891. $351 is left. Question number 5. Kai has a fair six-sided dice number 1 to 6 and a fair spinner number 1 to 4. Okay, Kai rolls the dice and the spinner and spins the spinner. He finds the score by adding the two numbers together. Part A, complete the table. Okay, number on dice are 1 to 6 and numbers on the spinner are 1 to 4. Okay, he add the two numbers 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 1 4, 4 plus 1 5. Okay, 1 plus 5 it makes 6. 4 plus 5 is 9. Okay, and then 1 plus 6 is 7, 2 plus 6 is 8, 4 plus 6 is 10. Part B, use a table to find the probability that the score is number A, 5. When the score, you have to use a table to find the probability that when the score is 5. Okay, let's count how many you get, how many times you have to get number 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we get number probability for number 5 is 4 out of the total. So what is the total? Total is the 4 and 6. Spinner has 4 outcomes. Multiply, the dice has 6 outcomes. So 4 out of 24. 4 out of 24, or you can convert it into simplest form. 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 6 is 24. Both are okay, because I have received many comments that student ask why I'm not converting the probability into simplest form. That is okay. If you keep it as it is, it's fine, but if you convert it into simplest, that is also fine. Okay, now for the second part, less than 7. Okay, so less than 7. Less than 7 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 out of total 24. 14 out of 24 is a probability that is less than 7. Question number 6, part A. The table shows the opening time for the museum. Monday to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Work out how many hours the museum is open in 1 week. 1 week has 7 days. Monday to Friday are 5 days. Saturday and Sunday is one day. So total are 7 days. Okay. How many hours it is open? So 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. How many hours? From 10 to 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 7 hours. 9:30 to 6 p.m. 9:30 to 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30. 8 hours and 30 minutes. Just count. Okay, and Sunday it is closed. Okay. So total hours in a week the museum is open is 7 plus 8, 30. Okay, so we can say 7 hours and 0 minutes plus 8 hours and 30 minutes, 15. Sorry, I did a mistake here. The 7 hours is for 5 days, right? So you have to times it by 5. Okay, so 5 times 7 hours plus 8 hours and 30 minutes, which is 43.5 hours. The museum is open in 1 week. Now for part B, a family buys 5 adult tickets, 4 senior tickets, and 3 child ticket for the museum. Calculate the total cost of the tickets for the family. So the cost of the museum tickets, adult, senior, and children. So 5 adults, $27, plus 4 seniors, which is $20.60, plus 3 child is $16.90. $95. This is a total cost. 5 times 27 is $135. 4 times 20.60, this is $82.4, plus 3 times 9, 16.96, 95, this is $50.85. 135 plus 82.4 plus 50.85. Yes. So the total are 286.25 to 68, sorry, $0.25. This is a total cost for that the family has to pay for the tickets. Now for part C, in 1 week, the ratio of visitors to the museum is adult, senior, child is 9, 5, and 7. In this week, 432 adults visit the museum. Work out the total number of visitors to the museum in this week. Total number of visitors are the sum of adult, senior, and child. Since the adult visitors we know, we have to find the visitors for the child and the seniors. Okay, the adults we have given is 432. These are the adults. And we know the ratio for adults is 9. This implies 9 is representing 432. So what 1 is representing? 432 divided by 9. Is it in the simplest form? 48. So 1 is representing 48. Okay. Now let me solve for the senior. Senior is representing 5. So what 5 is equals to 5 times 48? Which is 240. So seniors are 240. Now let me solve for the child. Child is 7. So what 7 represents? 7 represents 7 times 48, which is 336 are the child, right? So the total number of visitors, total number of visitors is a sum of child, adult, and senior. So adults are 432, seniors are 240, and child are 336. 432 plus 240 plus 336, 1008 members are the total visitors. Now for part D, the pie chart shows information about the visitors to the museum in one day: the child, senior, and adult. Complete the table. So the number of visitors, adult is 108, so its pie chart angle is 162. Senior pie chart angle is given, but we have to solve for the number of visitors for the senior. All right. So for this question, let me find out the angle for child, because we know the whole circle is 360 degree. The sum of 162 and 72 plus the child is 360. So we can say the 360 minus 72 and minus 162. This would be for the child. 360 take away 72 take away 162. The child is 126 degrees. Okay, so 126 degrees over here. Now let me find the number of visitors for senior and for child. Okay, so we do the comparison that 162 degree equals to 108. Then what 72 degree equals to, and 126 degrees equals to. If 162 degree represent 108, then what 1 degree represent? 1 degree represent 108 over 162. Okay, 108 over 162, 2 by 3. It represents 2 by 3. So 1 degree represent 2 by 3. Now let me solve for 72 degrees. 72 degree represent 2 by 3 times by 72. And 126 degree represent 2 by 3 over times 162. 126. Okay, 2 by 3 times 72 is 48. Are the senior members. Okay, and 2 by 3 of 126 is 84. So 84 are the child visitors. 84, yes. Question number 7. A sequence of pattern is made using black and white counters. Pattern 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Draw pattern 5 for part A. Okay, so there are two black. Okay, and then there are 3 rows, then 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. Now it becomes 7 rows. For pattern 1, how many are used? 3, 4, 5, 6. Now 7 are going to be used. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the black one, ending one. These are the circles, white counters. Okay, and then it's 1. There are 2. In 3, 4, there must be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, this is 3, this is 4, and this is 5. And in the between, they are just white counters. All right, so this is how the pattern look like. Now for part B, complete the table, the patterns. Number of black counters, number of white counters. The patterns are 1 to 6. Black counters are 2, 4, 6, 8. So they are even number 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. Right? Now for white counters are 1, and then 4, and then 9, and then 16 is a square number. You can see 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square. 5 square is 25, and 6 square is 36. Now for part C, write down the term to term rule for the number of black counters. Number of black counters. The difference between the numbers are term to term rule. Okay, just write down the term to term rule, not finding the nth term, sorry. So adding 2 is each time, yes. Add 2 each time. This is the term to term rule for the black counters. Now for part D, find an expression in terms of n for the number of black counters in pattern n. Black counters in pattern n. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and so on. So as you can see, the difference is 2. All the terms have a difference of 2. So when they have a constant difference, it is an arithmetic progression. an equals to a plus n minus 1 into d. A is the first term plus n minus 1, and d is the common difference, right? So an equals to 2 plus 2n minus 2. So minus 2 and plus 2 is cancelled out, just 2n is the nth term. Now for part E, explain why there is no pattern in a sequence that use 150 white counters. All right. Use 150 white counters. White counters can be 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36. White counters are basically those counters which are the square numbers or their square root exists. So if we do 150, root of 150, it does not exist. So we can say 150 is not a square number. We can say because 150 is not a square number. So this is a reason that we cannot use 150 as a white counter. Question number 8. Eva invests $12,800 for Y years at a rate of 3.2% per year simple interest. The total interest earned during the Y year is this much. Find the value of Y. So it is total interest earned. Total interest earned for simple interest is I equals to PRT. In total interest earned is $2457.60. In P is the investment, which is 12,800. Interest rate is 3.2%. Amount of years are just Y. Simplify 3.2 over 100 times 12,800 is this much. 2457.60. Simplify this quantity and divide it on the other side. This is 409.6. This would be my Y. 2457 7.60 divided by answer. This is just 6 years. Y value is 6 years. Now for question number 9, simplify. We have x and x, 3x minus 2x minus 4y minus 5y. Let's take x common. 3 minus 2, taking y common, minus 4 minus 5. So the simplified form is x minus 9y. Question number 10, part A, expand. 3q into q, 3q square minus 3q into 7. 3 times 7 is 21, and we have a q. 3q square minus 21q. Part B, we have to factorize this. Okay, so 12 and 6, 2 is common. 14 and 6, 2 is a common factor. And B is also common. 2 times 7 is 14, P is common. 2 times 3 is 6, P is common, just Q is left. So 2P into 7 minus 3Q. Question number 11, part A. The table shows the part of a bus timetable. Okay. Part A. Ria must arrive at Beaton before 9. Write down the latest time she can catch a bus from North Valley. Okay, this is a North Valley to B Town. Okay, so Ria must arrive B Town before 9. This is a B Town bus's time. Okay, so these are the two times which are before 9. They are after 9. She must arrive at B Town before 9. She must arrive at 8:05 or 8:35. Or so what is the latest time she can catch a bus from Northville? So latest time is, it can be at 7:45 she has to catch the bus, or at 8:15 she has to catch the bus. So they said latest time before 9, right? So before 9, these two are the options before 9. So the latest time would be 8:15, that she must have to catch the bus at Northville. Now for second part, a bus leaves Oldfield at 8:50 and arrives Milltown on time. How many minutes the journey to Milltown takes? Oldfield, okay. Oldfield to Milltown. Okay. Oldfield is this time and Milltown is this time. How much time the bus take from Oldfield to Milltown? First we have to figure out. Okay, so 8, 12, subtract 7:50. I guess 10, 8, 12, 7:50, 22 minutes. So the journey is just 22 minutes. This is the journey, right? Now the bus leaves Oldfield at 8:50. Okay, the bus leaves the Oldfield at 8:50 and arrives at Milltown on time. The bus arrives at Milltown on time, right? So how many minutes the journey to Milltown takes? How many minutes? 9, 13, subtract 0850. No need to do this, because before I thought that 8:50 is not given in this table, but it is given. So just subtract it 2 times. So 9, 13 minus 08, sorry, 9, 13 minus 0850, 23 minutes, right? When it is on time, right? Now for part B, the table shows the relative frequency of the buses arriving at Milltown early and arriving at Milltown on time. Arrive the time of arrival and relative frequency we have given: early, on time, and late. Complete the table. The relative frequency sum of relative frequency is equals to 1, right? So when we do this, 1 take away 0.1 take away 0.55, this would be 0.35 is the relative frequency for late. So from 1 we subtract the early time, we subtract the on time, so you will get the time for the late. Now for the second part, during 1 week 200 buses arrives at Milltown. Calculate the number of buses expected to arrive early. Early probability, relative frequency 0.1 times it by 200. This is obviously equals to 20. So 20 buses in a week out of 200 buses arrives Milltown early. Question number 12. A cafe has 60 seats. 3 by 5 of the seats are occupied by adults. 9 seats are occupied by children. Find the fraction of seats that are not occupied. Give your answer in its simplest form. Okay. Okay, so total number of seats in a cafe are 60. The seats occupied by adults are 3 by 5 of the 60 seats are. How many seats are occupied by adults? 38 seats are occupied by adults, and 9 seats are occupied by children. Okay, we have to find the seats which are not occupied. So 36 plus 9, this is 45. So seat 45 are occupied. 45 seats are occupied out of 60. So not occupied are from 60 take away 45, so it means 15 seats are not occupied. But 15 is not the answer. They have to say the answer must be in fraction of the seats that are not occupied. Okay, so fraction of the total seats. So how can we represent 15? Okay, so what fraction of 60 makes? Yes, it says what fraction of 60 equals to 15. Okay, so we can do, so let's find out that fraction. So from 15 take away 60 is 1 by 4 of that fraction. 1 by 4 of 60, this is equals to 15. 1 by 4 of 60 is 15. So that fraction is 1 by 4 of the seeds. They said find the fraction of the seeds. 1 by 4 of the seeds are not occupied. That is equals to 15. I hope this makes sense now. Moving to question number 13. A bag of nuts costs $3. Joe buys n bags of nuts. Find an expression for the change that Joe receives from $20. Okay, so from $20, one bag cost is $3. N bags cost is 3 times n dollars, right? So from $20, he subtract the cost of 3n, you will get the change. This is much. You will get the change. Question number 14. Q and T are the points on a circle. This is Q and this is T. Q, R, S. Q, R, and S is a straight line. S and T, this is tangent to the circle at T. ST is tangent to the circle at T. Okay. ST is tangent to the circle at T. QR and RS and RT, they are equal. And this angle is 42. All right. Right. Number A, find the angle TRTS. R, T, and S, this angle. If we consider this triangle R, T, and S, RT equals to RS. It means this angle and this angle is same, 42 degrees. Because triangle RTS is an isosceles triangle. This is an isosceles triangle. Part B show that the angle QRT is 48. QR and T. QR and T. This angle is 84. We have to show. Consider this triangle QR and T. This triangle QR and RT are same. So this angle and this angle are equal. Okay. Okay. Since we do not know all the three angles of this triangle, let's figure out with this. This angle is also 42. So what is that angle for this triangle? RST. So the triangle R, S and T, sum of all angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So angle R would be equals to, from 180, take away 42, take away 42. Okay, 180 minus 42 minus 42, this is 96 degrees. So this angle is 96 degrees. Okay, so this is a straight line, it is given to us. Q, R and S is a straight line. So the angle on a straight line is 180 degree. So the sum of these two angles should be 180 degree. We can say QRS is a straight line. Okay, so from 180 we have to subtract 96. You will get that angle 84 degrees. So it is correct. Now for part C, explain why the line QT is a diameter of a circle. This line QT, explain why this is a diameter of a circle. You must show all your working and give a geometrical reason. Okay, so how can we prove that Q and T, this line is a diameter of a circle and this is a tangent? So we have to give the reason that tangent must be perpendicular to the diameter. If it is perpendicular, then this must be a diameter of a circle. All right, so let's figure out the angles in this triangle. So Q, R and T, this is also an isosceles triangle. This angle is 84. Let me figure out these two angles. Let's say these two angles are X and X. Okay, so I'm working with a triangle Q, R and T. Okay, sum of all angles of a triangle, angle X, angle Q, angle T and angle R is 84. This is equals to 180 degree. So 2x would be equals to 180 minus 84. So 180 take away 84, this would be 96 degrees. So what is x? X is 96 out of 2, 48 degrees. So the rest of the two angles are 48. This angle is 48 degrees. This angle is 48 degrees, right? Now, if the sum of these two angles are 90, so we can say the next reason is 48 plus 42. This is equals to 90 degree. Perpendicular, right? When we add 48 and 42, you will get 90. And we know that T to S, this is tangent. ST is tangent to the circle at T. So T to Q is a diameter because tangent is perpendicular to the diameter of a circle. Since ST is tangent to the circle at T and is perpendicular to the diameter QT. This implies QT is the diameter of a circle. We have to answer it logically, right? Part A, calculate the exterior angle of a regular hexagon. So hexagon has 6 sides. So the formula for measure of exterior angle of a regular polygon is 360 degree divided by the number of sides. So this is 360 over 6. 6 times 6 is 36 and 0. So the measure of exterior angle of a regular hexagon is 60 degree. Part B, the diagram shows the part of a regular hexagon, okay, and a part of a regular polygon. The regular hexagon and the regular polygon are joined by a common side. Calculate the number of sides of regular polygon. Alright, so in this question we have to find the interior angle of a regular hexagon first. As we know that the hexagon has 6 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So the interior angle of hexagon is number of sides minus 2 multiplied by 180 degree divided by the number of sides. This is 6 take away 2 into 180 divided by 6. 6 take away 2 is 4. 4 times 180 divided by 6. So the interior angle is 120 degree. Each interior angle of a regular hexagon is 120 degree, right? And the whole circle is 360. So what is this? So from 360, take away 100, take away 120. So from 360, take away 100, take away 120, this is 140 degree. So which, if our regular polygon has an interior angle 140 degree, we have to find the number of sides of that polygon. So the interior angle of regular polygon, this is 140. Its number of sides are n minus 2 into 180 divided by n. Let me solve for n. Cross multiplied. 140n equals to 180n. 2 times 180 is minus 360. Further simplify, 140n minus 180n equals to 360 with a negative sign, minus 40n a minus 360. So n would be negative is cancelled with negative 360 over 40. 0 is cancelled with 0. 4 times 4 times 9 is 36. So the number of side of that regular polygon is 9. Question number 16. Write down all the integers that satisfy this inequality. Let me draw the number line to show you, because it is a 2-mark question, so it is better to show with the number line. Minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, and so on. Okay, the minus 4 to 1, between minus 4 till 1. So minus 4 is not equality and 1 is a filled circle because 1 is included. This is the region which is satisfied the inequality. Okay, so what are the integers value? Minus 4 is an integer, but it's not included into the inequality. Minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, and 1. Minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, and 1. So these are the only integer values that satisfy the following inequality. Question number 17, we have to solve. So b minus 7 would be 24 over 4. 4 times 6 is 24. So b minus 7 equals to 6. B would be equals to 6 and plus 7, that is equals to 13. So b value is 13. Question number 18. A pyramid has a rectangular base. The base has a length 4.5 centimeter and the width is 2.5 centimeters. The height of the pyramid is 7 centimeter. Calculate the volume of that pyramid. So to get the volume of a pyramid, we have to use a formula. So volume of any pyramid is equals to 1/3 of the base area multiplied by the height. As we know, we have 1/3. The base is rectangular. So we have to find the area of a rectangle, which is length times width. Length is 4 times 5, 4.5, and the width is 2.5. Multiply by the height of the pyramid is 7. Just simplify. So 4.5 times 2.5 times by 7 divided by 3, this is 26.25 cubic centimeter. So you have to remember this formula to get the volume of pyramid, any pyramid, that is 1/3 of the base area times height. Question number 19. In June, fuel for a bus cost is this much per kilometer. Part A. In June, a bus travel 1,800 kilometers. Calculate the total cost of the fuel in June. Okay, so if 1 kilometer, the cost is 0.32, what is a cost of 1,800 kilometer? This is 1,800 times 0.32. 1800 times 0.32. So $576 is the cost of fuel. Now for part B, in July, the fuel of the bus cost 75% more per kilometer than the cost in June. In July, the bus traveled 1,850 kilometer. Find, calculate the difference in the total cost of the fuel between June and July. This is a total cost of fuel in June. Now we have to find the total cost of fuel in July, and we have to do the difference of both. So the distance is given. Let's find out the cost of 1 kilometer of fuel. Okay, so we can say cost of 1 kilometer of fuel in July. This is 7.5% more of the cost in July, which is 0.32, and this would be add up in 0.32 because it is more. Okay, 7.5 over 100 times 0.32 add 0.32. This is 0.344. $0.344 is the cost of 1 kilometers of fuel, the cost of fuel per kilometers in July, right? Now let's figure out for, this is for 1 kilometer, 0.344. Now 1850 kilometer, which is in July, which is 1850 times 0.344. Sorry, times 1850. This is 636.4. This is a cost of fuel in July. This is a cost in July, and this is a cost in June. Now we have to find the difference of cost in June and July. July is 636.4. June is 576. 636.4 subtract 576. This is $60.40 or $60.4. Question number 20, part A. The equation of line L is y equals to 2x. Find the equation of line parallel to L that passes through 1, 5. Give your answer in this form. The line must be parallel, so it has the same slopes when it is parallel. So m value is same, which is 2. This implies m is equals to 2 because here m equals to 2. Y equals to mx plus c. Y equals to 2x plus c. To get the c value, we have to plug this point. X is equals to 1 and the y value is 5. 5 equals to 2 into 1 plus c. 5 minus 2 is 3. This is equals to my c. So the equation is y equals to 2x plus 3. Right. Now for part B, on the grid shows the line AB. Find the gradient of the line AB. So let's say the point A is 1 and 7. X is 1, y is 7. And for point B, the x is 9 and the y is 1. 9 and 1. So if you have 2 points, 1, 7, 9, 1. So the gradient has a formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so this is my x1, y1, this is my x2 and y2. y2 minus y1, this implies 1 minus 7 over x2 minus x1, 9 minus 1. 1 take away 7 is negative 6. 9 take away 1 would be 8. 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 4 is 8, minus 3 by 4. This would be the gradient for the line AB. Question number 21. The diagram shows a sector of a circle with a radius 7 centimeter and the sector angle is 120 degrees. Calculate the parameter of this sector. Parameter of a sector is the radius plus the arc length. This radius is also 7. So we have to figure out the arc length first. Arc length has a formula: theta over 360 degree into 2 pi r. Theta is 120 over 360 into 2 into pi into radius. 120 out of 360 into 2 into pi into r. 14.66. This is 14.66 centimeter. This arc length is 14.66. Now let's figure out the parameter. So the parameter of this sector is a sum of radius plus arc length. This would be add up to 7 plus 7, 28.66. 28.66, or we round to 28.7 centimeter. Question number 22. The diagram shows a rectangle. Okay. Calculate the value of W. It is a rectangle. It has some length, it has some width, and this is a diagonal. Since this angle is a right angle, let's say this is the hypotenuse of the triangle. Now, if we consider this as a triangle, this is a hypotenuse, this is a base, and that is a perpendicular. So apply the Pythagoras theorem. Hypotenuse square equals to the base square plus the perpendicular square. So 25 square take away 19 square, this would be W square. Okay, 25 square minus 19 square, this is 264. 264 is my W square. To get the W value, we can say root of 264. Root of answer is 16.24. 16.25 centimeters. Question number 23. The diagram shows a right angled triangle. Calculate the value of x. The angle is given, its front side is opposite, and this is adjacent. This side is opposite, this side is adjacent. So which trigonometric ratios involve opposite and adjacent? Because it is a right angle triangle, we can apply a trigonometric ratio. Tangent involve. So tangent of that angle 54 degree is opposite over the adjacent. Cross multiplied, x would be equals to 7.6 over tangent of 54 degrees. Okay, this is in degrees already. Okay, tangent of 54. 7.6 divided by answer 5.52. 5.52 is the x value. Alright, so that was the last question of our paper. If you have any queries, please let me know in the comment section, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Take care.